It's Adam from LUCIDPIXUL, and I have a Kickstarter I want to share with you today from a company I highly believe in. And I've become a believer in a very short time with this company based on what they produce. And I want you artists to pay very close attention because this is important. This is something that really benefits you. A company called Neo reached out to me around 6 months ago about this product. It's called the TOURBOX. Okay, I'll get a little closer. Okay, it's called the TOURBOX, and you can check out the full review and the keyboard shortcuts and the setup and drivers and all that kind of stuff. You can check it out right there. They reached out to me and they said, we have this new product we'd love for you to check out. And normally, when you do a lot of tech reviews, I do tech reviews for all different types of things, not just art. I do audio and I do video and I do all kinds of stuff. Getting free products is not why you do it, and you get tired. It's work. I want to spend time with my kids. I don't want to be doing stupid reviews for companies I don't care about. But they sent it to me. They're artists. It's an art product. So I said, okay, I always check out art products at least once. And they sent it to me, and I took it out of the box and kind of, okay, what do you got here? And I opened it up, and my first reaction was, Check mark number one. They did something that nobody else had thought of doing. Every single one of these buttons and knobs are different shapes and different feels. They're physically different. And one of the things I described in my last video is your hand memory, your physical tactile nerve memory is far more accurate and immediate than the memory you have in your skull-trapped thought sponge up here. Okay? It's immediate. If you see something, your brain immediately recognizes it. So if I pick something up, I go to skull and remote. It's very fast. So I thought, this is smart because they're kind of basing it off of a console remote control. So that was plus number one. And then I started messing around with it and I realized, some are knobs, there's buttons, but then I noticed that the knobs are also buttons. So there's more keyboard shortcuts here than you could possibly need. And they feel nice. Everything you don't have to look at it. You can just move things around and your hand knows exactly where it's supposed to go. Awesome. I plugged it in and I went, please drivers don't screw up my computer. Please drivers don't screw up my computer. And they were easy. Like, it's just like Apple. It's just like plug and play, it just works. I was like, nice. And then I went to set up these different buttons, or at least figure out what these different buttons did. And I'm going, okay, so there's the menu and where's the dial and everything like that. And as I'm doing it, I already had my hand on the device in the first place. And I just clicked one of the buttons. And when I did, the menu jumped and went, what did I do? What did I do? I thought something glitched up. And I realized when you click the button, it finds it in the menu on your computer. And you went, you clever bastards. You click a button, keyboard shortcut, enter. Move the dial, keyboard shortcut, enter. I went, wow. So I've taken that out of the box, admired it, plugged it in, set up the driver, and I've set up my keyboard, or at least I've recognized and I've started to set up my keyboard shortcuts within 8 minutes. Okay? And I'm sitting there going, wow, this is pretty cool. I start using it, I go into Photoshop, and within 10 minutes, within 15 minutes, I am completely comfortable using this thing. And I'm not surprised either because it just makes sense. It's a logical, it's a smart product. And what makes this important is that if I, hypothetically speaking, if I just grab some random remote, look at all these buttons are all the same. Now, this is a small remote and it's meant to just set something and then put it down and forget about it, right? It's the Edelkrone remote, review up here. And that's not the main function for, but if you look at something like the Express remote or for, for instance, Zens Labs, they have their remote that has an LCD display. In both of those cases, I never end up using it. Why? Because I have to take my eyes off of my drawing, find the button, press it, and go back to my drawing. Why when I have a keyboard shortcut right there that I have my muscle memory for? I memorized all these buttons because I've been drawing in Photoshop for well over 20 years plus. It's not worth me relearning this new trinket, this new gimmick. For what? If I move myself into a studio and have to work in the studio, am I going to bring the remote with me? No, but you don't have to worry about with this thing. So it's like, wow, within 10, 15 minutes, and I guarantee you within 10, 15 minutes, if you buy this thing and you set this up, within 10, 15 minutes, if you're not completely comfortable working on it, then I'm full of it. And you can completely ignore everything that I'm saying right now. I was really impressed. And then I started seeing reviews by Bodo Dante and Brad Colbo and everything like that. And they were saying, yeah, I'm using this as my... Bodo Dante had made a comment on my review of this saying, yeah, it's my daily driver. And you see it in all of his videos. He's got his little TOURBOX next to him. So I was like, wow. So when Neo, the company, got in touch with me and said, hey, we've got the successor to this. Would you like to check it out? And I went, already? I just reviewed this damn thing like 6 months ago. It looks brand new. And I use this thing every day, right? He said, well, send it over. So he did. And here it is. Okay. Oh, you want to see the difference? Well, the first thing you're going to notice is this one has the cable. This one does not have the cable. Okay. They addressed pretty much the only kind of nice to have thing that I had mentioned in my original video. It would have been nice for it to do this, I said. But it's really it's a nice to have. It's not a necessity. I use this every day and I'm completely happy with it. It would be nice if it could be Bluetooth, I said. Well, here it is. Not even 6 months later, here it is. But for me, I'm all about that flow. And if the flow gets knocked off, if there's lag, if the buttons aren't responsive, if there's weird, finicky things, I'll say it. And there's a few little finicky things that still need to be ironed out because remember, this is just a prototype. This ain't the final version, okay? But Bluetooth, flawless. Like, I know flawless Bluetooth. I have Corsair gaming keyboards with like super, super low latency. And I know I'm all a real stickler for latency. If I'm dialing something in and there's this like microsecond lag, I'm going to like, ugh. It'll just be, I'll just plug it in and I'll forget about it. It's not worth the sacrifice. No. Zero latency on this thing. Okay. The other thing that I noticed as soon as I plugged it in, which I think is really, really cool, is haptics. So as soon as I turned that dial, it went vrr, and I could feel the haptics. Haptics you can't feel when it's not plugged in, right? Haptics, if you're not familiar, is like when you're pressing on your screen on your phone or something like that. You feel that little feel, or if you have AirPods and you click and you feel a little click like that. That's all fake clicks. That's not real clicks. That's haptic clicks. Well, this has this. Now that said, this is a prototype. They're still working on it. One of the bits of feedback I sent to Neo. It feels like I'm talking to Neo from the Matrix. One of the things I said to the company, Neo, was you need to iron out your haptics. It was a little bit on the aggressive. It was a bit loud. It was dialed up too high, which again, they're ironing this out. And she got back in touch with me and said, yeah, we're working on that. I agree with you. It's a little bit much, but you can turn it off. So by turning off the haptics, you basically reverted it back to the original version. By turning on the haptics, you have this added feature. So it's a bonus, a nice to have again. But why is Bluetooth significant? It's not necessarily a bit significant. I'll give you a couple of scenarios. Number one is I thought of doing a kind of Borodante style jerry rig and hooking this up on the side of my Cintiq so my hand was here. I wouldn't even have to bring my hand near my keyboard, which is on a tray underneath my thing. You can check out my studio review here to see that. So to kind of have everything sitting right there. But I thought with the cable, it's going to be a bit clunky and I could snag it and yank it off and everything like that. I could probably jerry rig some cool thing because it's got these nice grippy feet on my Cintiq. And that way I've got this cable-free kind of setup so everything's just sitting there right there and I'm just hook it up so it doesn't fall. And it should be super easy to set up. The other thing that I feel is, what's nice about this is it makes it a lot more portable. But not portable in the wire-free sense. Portable in the not as embarrassing sense. When I originally got the Mobile Studio Pro, one of the earlier versions of the portable all-in-one Wacom pen display computer thing that you could just take with you. You didn't need to have it connected to a PC. I bought it, spent a lot of money on the damn thing, and then I brought it to a cafe. And within 5 minutes, I realized this is so embarrassing. I'm pulling out this big pen display, and then I get a Bluetooth keyboard and connect it there, and then I got my other thing, and I connected it in like this. And before you know it, I'm sitting there in a cafe feeling like a total idiot with my keyboard and webcam and my thing here and all this, and everything's wired in. And I just felt like I'm basically setting up a computer. It's really, really show-offy. So I was like, 15 minutes, I was like, okay, forget it. I just closed everything up and I left. And that's why when the iPad came out, I was like, wow, this is really an awesome solution to that. Nice, discreet, pull out a pen, draw, clip it back in, slap, put it back in your bag. Really easy and light. Total game changer for me in that regard. This does that. You take out your laptop, you open it up, you've got your little drawing tablet, you take this out, you just start to work. It's very discreet. You're not calling attention to yourself. It's this nice discreet thing because you don't have cables. You're not wiring stuff up. You don't need to hook it up. You don't need to use USB cables, nothing. The only reason you need to use a cable, you've got a cable that comes right here with it. USB-C detachable. Thank you. Very thoughtful. So either you can use it cabled or they send it with batteries inside. And that's my second little suggestion to them moving forward if they can implement this. A little light indicator, because the Bluetooth pairing button's underneath, but there's no light indicator under it. Maybe to save battery power or whatever. but a little tiny little LED that doesn't take up a lot of power, just to let you know when you're in pairing mode or when it's on or off, because otherwise there's no way of knowing. Of course, you wouldn't want to put the light on the top, because if you put on a light over here, everybody know you're going to have this stupid little annoying light that you're staring at in your peripheral. So I like the fact that it's nice and discreet. I like the fact that I don't know it's there. But a little light underneath to know when you're in pairing mode, because I didn't know otherwise. I had to look at my device to see if it was pairing. So just a little something there. My only suggestions are just ironing out the haptics and a little light indicator. And I think apart from that, I think we have an absolute winner of a product right here. So I am coming on my channel, and I'm making a video on December 21st when I'm on my Christmas vacation, right after finishing a month and a half of work. And I'm in my rest time, but I had to make this video to say, I want you guys to jump on board with this. Donate $1, donate a couple of bucks, do something to help this Kickstarter kick off, because I honestly feel like Neo isn't just producing a gimmick for artists. This is by artists, for artists. They know what artists are looking for. They know what irritates artists. They know what makes things unintuitive, not worth adopting. This is worth adopting. And this is the reason I want this to become as mainstream as possible. And I want you guys to support this, because I really do believe in what these guys do. All right. So I have a link in the description below. Go check it out. Make a pledge. Support this product. Trust me, this is something that's going to come back and reward you tenfold if you support it. All right. So thanks for watching. Happy holidays. I'll see you soon. Take care.